Welcome to The Real and the Woo. I'm your host, Lauri Stern. Join me as I invite experts and friends to discuss a range of topics, from the factual and practical to the mystical and magical. Consider this your virtual happy hour filled with lively, authentic, and meaningful conversations meant to inform, inspire, and ignite your curiosity. Whether you are very real or super woo, this podcast is just for you. Welcome to The Real and the Woo. I'm your host, Lauri Stern, and I'm back for another Mindfulness Monday. Just randomly coming on after I got home from a class I took at the gym. I've made a conscious effort to try to get to more exercise classes versus the ones I teach on my own and or just doing a machine of some kind like a bike or an elliptical. So I'm sort of gearing up to make myself more of a priority than I have been. And I kind of noticed what's happening with me, and I wanted to share just in case it's happening with you. I listen to a lot of YouTube tarot readers. There's a few that I really trust a lot. I'll put them in the show notes below. But what I love about energetic wellness, the space I'm in, spirituality, the whole thing, I and everyone else in this space talks about be open to receiving synchronicities. And so if you don't know what synchronicities are, it's like if you're thinking of someone and they call you, or you might be thinking of an elephant and you see an elephant, whatever it is, just things that match up that happen in succession or happen a lot. And since the full moon, for sure, there's been seemingly like a speeding up of, for me personally, synchronicities. So what I'm hearing from a variety of people, whether it's YouTube or just conversations I'm having with other people, podcasts to which I listen, emails I receive, all the things, there's themes that are consistent, right? So those are synchronicities. It's not a one-stop or a one-hit wonder, I meant to say. But who doesn't love a one-hit wonder? I mean, let's be honest. There's so many good songs that are one-hit wonders. That'll take me down a rabbit hole for a while. But I wanted to talk about synchronicities. I wanted to talk about the end of the year happening. So I just put a Substack out that talks about this month of December and the ending of the year 2025, which if you've been following me for a while or read my content on my website or now on Substack, I'm still trying to move my blogs over more and more to Substack. The year 2025 in numerology adds up to a 9, which is a we year, W-E. So there was a lot of stuff happening, and you could feel it probably, to the collective, globally, locally, a lot of systems and structures crumbling, changing, all that kind of stuff. And we're moving into, oh, and also, sorry, it was a year of the snake. And what do snakes do? They shed their skin. So this entire year, 2025, we were asked to and meant to be taking a look at what we need to release, let go of. For me personally, the work I'm doing energetically on myself is to listen to the mediumship readings I've received, which are all connected, no matter with whom I've, met or sat with, that I'm here to really make changes in my family's karmic lines. So canceling contracts, looking at limiting beliefs, why am I fearful in ways I don't understand when something personally didn't happen to me, but I have a fear of it? That's an example. Why am I so angry or triggered over certain things or certain people when usually I'm not? And why do certain patterns repeat in my life, right? So, of course, because I'm a teacher, I'm an energetic wellness practitioner, I'm here talking to you as a podcaster, I teach from what I know. And the only way I can teach it is by going through the experience myself. And then I offer, this is what works for me. Maybe this will work for you, all those kinds of things. So I wanted to come on to talk about a lot, obviously. And maybe this will be a little bit of a longer Mindfulness Monday, and that's okay. The year of the snake, we're meant to be shedding skins, but we can't shed the skins if we don't understand how many layers we're wearing, right? So we're all like onions and we can peel off the obvious dry layers. It's pretty easy to release those things. It's like taking off your winter coat. And then when you get down to the other layers of an onion, of course, some of those layers make us start crying. And that's like life, right? So the more we peel back and or the more we dig in internally to ourselves, some of the layers we see and feel and begin to really understand might make us cry. They might really piss us off. They might create a lot of anger and swirl and a lot of moments and minutes and days and weeks spent in quiet reflection or active journaling or having meaningful discussions with family members if they're still around to help any of us through dialing back through our childhood, for example, if there was trauma or stuff that came up, right, that we are now only recognizing really has informed how we behave now. So all of that stuff is true for me. Every time I unpeel a layer, it brings up a lot of more questions. I personally really enjoy this work. I really feel and know and understand profoundly this work of digging in and weeding out and uncovering is really important. And it's what we're all meant to do. But it does take courage. It does take time. Um, it does take a lot of humor and self awareness. There's no more humbling work than to take a good look at yourself in the mirror, physically or literally, and see some of the ugliness that's inside, the beauty, and everything in between, right? So, that's what I help people do. I help them get brave and feel empowered. I talk about empowered authenticity all the time. We don't even know what authenticity is if we're just operating on somebody else's programming. We're walking around not even bothering to peel back even just the first layer of ourselves. And for a lot of people, that's where they're going to stay. But if anybody's starting to dive into this space with me or anyone else, you can already feel and you've already experienced how these layers do come up and churn up and dig up and reveal stuff we're meant to see. So just know that even when you're getting triggered, even when you're sad or feeling emotional, you're on the right path. Stay the course, do the work, journal, move your body, reach out to a friend, ask questions. And listen, both my parents are on the other side. So were I not in the space where I'm gratefully connected to so many wonderful mediums and healers and people who can bring forth messages, one of the best things you can do is open up a journal, just a fresh notebook. I'm left-handed, so I write with my left hand. But there is a practice where you ask a question with your dominant hand and start to receive the answer with your non-dominant hand, or vice versa. And it all just starts with an intention. The intention is, may I receive the answers I'm asking for or meant to be receiving? And if you sit quietly, you don't have to switch hands, but even just that intention of, may this come through my pen or my pencil, answers for me. You might be surprised and very pleased that you will start receiving answers. And you don't have to know from where they come. Intentionally surround yourself with light and ground and surround with the highest vibration, the intention that's meant to come through with protection, so that right away you're not in fear, right? So a lot of us, when we start doing this work, it's like, well, who's talking to me and how do I know they're on my side, quote unquote? Um, have the intention that they are and have the belief that they are. And that's enough. Let that be enough, right? It's like in yoga. I say this a lot, especially with twisting, because twisting can really fuck people up, their backs, their shoulders, whatever. And especially in hot yoga, which is some of the classes that I teach in a hot room, our bodies can go places maybe sooner than they're meant to. We're warm, but we're not warmed up, if that makes sense. And so especially with twists, I've experienced this myself. Again, teaching from what I know, I've received bad adjustments through the course of my exercise and yoga career, where someone just out of the goodness of their hearts or whatever, they twisted me too much. So first, you need to know how to receive an adjustment. It's like receiving a massage. But next, you need to know your body. So I'm very careful when I adjust and twists. I mostly, with my adjustments, those of you who've taken my classes know or see my classes online, I'm after alignment and length, right? So, just what I was saying about the intention of receiving messages through your pen, if the intention is to receive a good twist or get a good twist in a pose, just saying the word twist is sometimes enough. So I say that to my students a lot. It's not about putting your body in a place it's not meant to go. It's about allowing your body to go. And a lot of times it starts from the head down. So if we just think and say, this is a good twist for me, or I'm twisting, then you are, right? You don't have to physically be doing it or sticking your elbow in your ear or whipping your head around like Linda Blair. So I got off track, but that's okay. So back to the ending of the year. So December. I want you guys to really take stock and notice of perhaps what the work is that you've already been doing and continue it into the new year. It doesn't have to end just because the year is ending. We can continue it. And I also want you to give yourself grace for feeling like, for any reason, that you needed to end something by the end of the year. Kind of ridiculous. This learning, this energetic wellness, this path of spirituality, it's ongoing. But whatever you started in December, maybe some things have been put to rest. Maybe you have cleared out and canceled some contracts, and remember to seal those holes up with love, you guys. Don't just let those holes and those cords be cut and kind of hanging out to dry. Seal them, cancel them, thank them, and send them back to whomever they belong to with gratitude. But a lot of this work continues into the next year. Okay. And so what's happening is the year 2026 is equals 10, which is a 1 in numerology, which now it comes back to me and I. So we're moving from the we year of 2025, the shedding of the skin, the snake energy, to the I/me year, number 1, right, of 2026, which is the year of the horse. So this blog that I just wrote, and I'm going to be writing more about this next year coming up. Think about a horse. A horse is meant to run free, right? Wild or tame. But the idea is the horse can't run as free as it would like to, or as quickly as it would like to if it's a racehorse, if they're weighed down with saddlebags. And so energetically, what weighs us down is stuff we're carrying from year to year to year, from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. And so we need to weed out, peel the layers, let them go so that we can enter into this new year with a little more lightness and freedom to explore the me, the I. And I caution you also not to make that feel, because it's coming up for me right now, that sounds very selfish. But I don't know about you, but especially as a mom and a spouse, a healer and a teacher, I forget to place myself first. And of course, it's so much easier for me to say to my clients, put the oxygen mask on yourself first. I can say that to you with ease, but I forget to do it myself. I'm human. And so this year coming up, really include yourself first in your energetic wellness equation. Really include yourself first in any sort of practice you do for self-care. Get a massage, get a facial, take a time out, say no, create a boundary. That's hard for a lot of people to do as well. We want to be open and available to people, um, to share. One of the limited beliefs I didn't know that I had, that I'm grateful was revealed, is I defined my worth and my value by how available I am to others, even to my own detriment, even to my own depletion. And I know now where that comes from. I saw my mom do it, and I saw my dad get really pissed off at my mom for pretty much not having any time for him, he would say. But he had his own issues he was dealing with, uh, you know, immaturely and all that kind of thing. But the point is, even just saying that, I already feel better saying it. Of course, I want to be available. I want to be available to you. I want to be available to my kids, my friends, my husband, my dog over here. But I can't do that if I'm burning the candle at all ends and not taking time for myself. So if you think about the racehorse starting out of the gate, especially at the beginning of the year, we're all ready to go. We're like, okay, it's a new year. I got this. And what happens is we make these resolutions, which, I don't use that language. I say a New Year's evolution or New Year's revolution, because a resolution I feel like is more finite and it puts a lot of pressure on people, right? But those of you who really resonate with resolution, that's fine, make them, but understand you might not keep the momentum going as much as you think you were going to at the beginning of the year, like right out of the starting gate. So give yourself permission to go at your own pace. Find the speed that works for you. Life is a marathon, although some days, some years, we feel like we're sprinting. But, fuel your body well. And that includes what you hear, what you see, what you literally eat and put into your body. Heal your body well, which means rest. If you need to rest, say no, create a boundary, get a massage, get a pedicure, whatever you can afford. Sit quietly for 5 minutes, create a ritual and change the ritual, right? So there it is again. The rigidity of rituals. I can't tell you how many times I run into clients and I catch myself just because you start a ritual, if it ain't working, toss it. It means it served its purpose for that period of time. And now you're going to try something else, right? Life is a smorgasbord. It's a poo poo platter of so much that we can grab onto if we just let ourselves have those open hands versus closed fists, open hearts versus closed hearts, and open minds versus closed minds. So for this Monday, this week, gearing up for the ending of the year, the ending of the month, and getting prepared for the new year, the new month, moving from the shedding and continuing that work because it's not over just because the year ends. But being open to feeling more freedom from releasing layers. So just because you've been wearing a certain coat, of course, the more you wear the same coat, the more you wear the same layer, it becomes part of you, becomes your favorite coat. It's familiar. It has that smell. It has that feel. You don't want to break in a new coat a lot of times. Um, but we're meant to change our clothes. We're meant to change our ways, and we're meant to really peel away those layers. Again, even if they make you sad or upset or angry or fearful. Notice if that's even your story, right? Where did the anger come from? Where did the fear come from? Find yourself hopefully in some humor when you catch yourself being your most ridiculous version. Another thing I can share is it surprises me the life I've craved and wished for and cultivated and built. Sometimes I catch myself resenting because I don't have the time that I want that moment or that day because my family's home for the holidays or because I'm making meals for everybody. I love cooking. I'm so proud that I know how to cook. I love sharing recipes. I love sharing time in my kitchen. But I catch myself getting really impatient, annoyed, and aggravated more than I would like. And it doesn't mean that that isn't me. It is. But when I really look and dig underneath those layers, it's my mom getting aggravated. It's my dad getting angry and impatient about dinner's not coming fast enough, or my mom had to go to work and now I have to make dinner, or we're not going to eat. Like that's in there too. So, again, especially around the holidays and especially when you're with your friends and your family, notice what comes up. Feel gratitude that you're noticing it. And then do the work of figuring out, is it yours and you need to clear it on your own? Put on your big boy and big girl pants that, yeah, you really are this person and maybe you don't want to feel that way anymore. Or yes, and both and I am this person, but I'm also created by other people who've input and implanted and hardwired into me stuff that I'm just realizing or have been realizing isn't mine to carry any longer. And so the work I do with custom design wellness and the programs that I create on my platform and the Facebook group that I'm organizing and the book that I'm writing, it's all meant to help us understand our internal wiring, right? So my brand is we do come with instructions because we do. We do. We just need to understand them, or we forgot how to read them, or we were never taught that we had them or understood how to read them. So we are meant to understand how we're made. We have to. We're meant to understand what makes us tick and what ticks us off and how and when to keep what's working or rework, rewrite, rewire, reprogram what isn't. That's what I help people do because I help myself do that. And the ways I help myself do that might be some of the same ways that I get to help you do that. And we customize ways that really do help you in the body that you have. That's the blissful stuff I get to do. I'm so grateful. And it's fun. This work is fun. It's hard, but it's fun. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I feel like I rambled. But hey, that's real too. There's a lot going on. The end of the year, the beginning of the new year, a lot of excitement in the air. You can feel it. The full moon again, that was huge. Oh, that was punny because it was huge. It was a super moon in Gemini, my sign. Be open to magic. It's the season of magic, right? The holidays are so magical. Turn on the Hallmark channel. Fall in love with those silly movies. They're so formulaic, but they're so wonderful. Everybody gets a kiss at the end. They're great. I thank my mom for turning me on to that. Um, but yeah, be open to the magic, be open to the synchronicities, be open to repetitive patterns that are positive, angel numbers you see, hawks outside, conversations you have that somebody else picks up on, but they're also repetitive in negative ways. And in those ways, we're meant to see and recognize and notice those are messages too. Like the universe knocking at your door, like, hey, I'm here. And then it happens again. It knocks a little louder. It's like, okay, I'm here. And on and on and on. It like hits you over the head, right? Sometimes it takes a hit over the head to really recognize something that we need to see so that we can decide, is it ours? Do we keep it? Do we toss it? And how we toss it is hopefully with love and gratitude for having tried, for having learned, and for having let it go. So I will come back again on a Monday. Can't say I will every Monday because I already haven't. And I need to give myself grace for starting a ritual like Mindfulness Mondays and not coming on every Monday. So thank you for letting me be me and do my thing so that you can do yours. And I hope that I can be of service and of help to you and for me to you. Namaste. The light in me honors and acknowledges, sees and appreciates the light in each one of you, virtually and in person. So thank you guys.